My name is Dominic Tarolli. I lead Smart Cities at Esri. With me today is Christine Ma. She's our account executive for Smart Cities. Now, you all know better than myself that the population growth in city is causing intense economic, environmental, and social stress, and our cities are facing massive challenges. But what exactly are these challenges? So we all want connected and inclusive cities, right? But rents in cities have risen faster than incomes, while over 500,000 people sleep every night on our streets. We all want urban mobility, but in reality, we spend up to 82 hours per year in traffic. We all want to be safe, but in cities, we are 250% more likely to be a victim of a crime. And we all want smart cities, but in reality, all that glitter is not gold. Smart cities like Mastar, Songdo, or Gujarat in India have implemented impressive technology, but they struggle to maintain a population and facing privacy challenges. And I think it's fair to say that after a decade of experimentation with smart cities, that smart cities are entering now a new phase. The smart cities of the future are those who are connected and engaged with the people who call it home. And after all, it takes a smart community, right, to raise a smart city. It's about real people with real problems who wants real solutions. It also means that technology can really bring people together and make a city smarter. This is not a brand new approach. It's rooted in Leonardo da Vinci's vision of this ideal city that was clearly centuries ahead of its time. So the true ideal city is not the city of an imaginary future, but of a future that really could happen. But the reality is still that most of the smart city concepts are very technocratic, utopic, and not very concrete. So you can test it right now. If you search right now on DuckDuckGo or Google for smart city, there are basically always the same kind of pictures, right? A city with a lot of bubbles around the skyline. It's like an elitist approach to create technocentric smart cities in a bubble without people. But again, the smart cities of the future are those who are connected and engaged with the people who call it home. Therefore, at Esri, we created an integrated approach with 4 principles. And now let's walk the talk and dive into the first principle. A smart city starts with smart planning that adapts to change. Boston is working on average on 80 large new projects per year. The big question is now, what is the right way to collaborate with the 4 main stakeholders, the planners, the architects, the citizens, and the developers? One solution would be their beautiful wooden model, but as you can see, it's limited in scale and not easy to manipulate, as you can imagine. So Boston and Esri have partnered and created that digital twin of Boston. And one of the big and main advantages, the digital twin provides one view for all the stakeholders and improves planning workflows. Boston's digital twin is built with our software ArcGIS Urban, and I would like to hand it now over to you, Christine, and we're traveling with her virtually at least to the beautiful city of Los Angeles so that she can show us how to fight the heartbreaking homelessness crisis with the geodesign approach. Christine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dominic. One of the keys to smart city planning is a technology that empowers planners to address the needs of their communities. Today, many American cities, particularly here in California, are confronting the reality of the homelessness crisis. Last year, over 21,000 people became homeless in California, which is more than every other state combined. At the basic level, it's a simple math problem. We need more homeless and low-income housing, and we need it fast. Today, I want to take a look at this issue from the planning perspective and leverage Esri's smart city solutions to illustrate a workflow that enables cities to better communicate the need for homeless housing, identify the most suitable locations for short-term and long-term options, and evaluate the impact of proposed programs. Now, let me show you a proof of concept demo using downtown Los Angeles as an example. Here, we're looking at downtown LA in 3D in ArcGIS Urban. As you can see in the interface, there are 3 key components of this planning model: projects, plans, and indicators. Let's start from indicators to understand the existing condition. This risk of homelessness indicator shows us where the low-income and high-risk households are concentrated. As we can see, downtown has a high percentage of households that are at risk of becoming homeless, which is why we decided to zero in on downtown for our proof of concept. We can also take a look at this unsheltered homeless indicator. For example, in Skid Row, we can see the breakdown of homeless individuals and their living conditions, as well as risk factors attributed to the homeless population. Then here in the chart, there are currently 5.1 thousand unsheltered homeless people in downtown. This informs our housing goal for the downtown plan, which we'll measure against later when we look at the impact of the proposed programs. Let's now open the downtown plan and create some housing options. The first step here is to identify sites for both short-term and long-term housing. With Urban's suitability tool, users can easily choose a score and slide the bar to highlight and select parcels that are suitable for housing development. You can define in advance key factors to find the parcels that best match your selected criteria, like vacancy or accessibility to existing homeless services, for example. In our analysis, we also added an exclusion for parcels within a quarter-mile of a school. Once we've identified the suitable parcels, we can add a scenario and propose a development mix that provides housing as well as services. In this case, counseling and clinics to help keep people off the streets. Then you can select a parcel and assign a housing type to develop. And we can configure the buildings by changing the space uses and the number of floors. In this case, we are proposing bridge housing with a clinic on the first floor. We can also get down to the street level to visually compare the proposal with the existing condition. Here we can see the proposed shelter on the left and the street view on the right. We can see the impact of this proposal in terms of how many homeless people are served by this plan, and evaluate our progress toward our goal of providing shelter for the 5.1 thousand homeless people in downtown. We can also publish and share this plan with stakeholders and the public, so they are informed of what's being proposed and its impact. Now let's go deeper into one of the proposed developments. Here we are looking at the transitional housing option within the surrounding context. These easy-to-build dwellings can be a cost-effective and feasible short-term option. And to create this realistic model, we added the housing from Urban into City Engine, and then applied a design rule to the buildings to create this lifelike rendering. And furthermore, a virtual reality experience can be leveraged to allow your stakeholders to walk within the development and get an up-close view for this new type of housing option. With ArcGIS Urban, planners can better understand the issues that the communities are facing, in this case, homelessness, and analyze the why, the where, and the what to build. Visual analytical tools like ArcGIS Urban will streamline the planning process, improve communication, and most importantly, contributing to the mission of housing, supporting and providing opportunity to our fellow community members. Thank you, and back to you, Dominic.
Thank you very much, Christine. The second principle is operational efficiency. And for this, let's have a look at the most populous county in the US, Los Angeles County. LA County has over 100,000 employees, and as you can imagine, their internal services department is very busy making sure that everything is running smoothly. So in collaboration with Esri, they started to create digital twins for their 4,000 buildings so that, for example, their IT workers find the right office right away in case of an IT problem. This really helps to reduce the time per work order and avoids the tedious search for the right space. And also here at Esri, we are using ArcGIS Indoors right on our iPhone. This video shows on the right side the digital twin, and to your left the real video footage from the Q building. That's, by the way, the building that we're currently in. And based on my personal experience with the mobile app of ArcGIS Indoors, it really helps me to find meetings room faster, improve my productivity, and it keeps me safe at work. Now let's move on with the third principle, the data-driven performance. And the question here is basically, how can we use data and technology to make smarter decisions? And a great real-life example is the second largest city in Sweden, Gothenburg. And you can see here a beautiful picture of their digital twin, which is based on a workflow with City Engine and the Unreal Engine. The level of detail that you can achieve with this workflow is just amazing, as you can see on this slide. So you have on your left side a real picture, and on the right side the digital twin. And the three main use cases for Gothenburg are: first, to understand the city and its function; second, to predict and test outcomes of an uncertain future; and third, to interact and control important services of the city in real time. And as Jack mentioned in his keynote, this is becoming more and more important, as we all now experience with the spread of the coronavirus. This is a dashboard from Johns Hopkins that follows in real time the coronavirus cases around the world. And in this extreme case, having the right data at the right time can make really the difference between life and death. Now our final principle is civic inclusion. And again, the smart cities of the future are those who are connected and engaged with the people who call it home. Like Zwolle in the Netherlands. The city recognizes that they will likely face challenges resulting from climate change. Therefore, they are tracking weather and air quality and publishing the data on the smart city hub so that the citizens can see what others can't. And at Esri, we believe that you and the whole geodesign community have an important role in designing tomorrow's smartest cities today. And based on the research of the McKinsey Global Institute, the most powerful and cost-effective addition to the city toolkits in many years are those digital solutions like the digital twin. And based on their research, they can improve the key quality of life factors in a city up to 30%, which means at the end of the day, just less crime, less traffic, less carbon emission, and just a better life in a city. And with that, I would like to invite you to continue discussion about the future of smart cities. Either connect with us directly, or we created an exclusive OneDrive folder just for you with all the resources from today's presentation. And you can find that on bit.ly/GDS_2020. Thank you very much.